Today on Sunset Selects, we're talking all about Pokemon and how to enjoy it as adults, as 30-year-olds. I'm bringing in a special guest to yap all about it. So welcome to this week's episode of Sunset Selects. Welcome everybody to Sunset Selects, the weekly podcast where we bring you the reviews, previews, interviews, whatever views you want about the activities, movies, TVs, games that you should be playing in your 5 to 9 after your 9 to 5. My name is Samson, aka Samson XP on the internet, and I am a big Pokemon fan. So for this week's Sunset Selects, I had to bring in special guest and friend of the show, Lucas Gates, aka the L-Gator. Welcome back to the show, man.
Hey, it's good to be back, Samson, and honestly, it's exciting to be back here. By the way, good to be talking with you all. Good to be here on Good Grow Up, Level Up, and I'm just excited to talk about Pokemon because, of course, we're getting into the 30th anniversary coming up in just a matter of months.
True. Yeah. Before we dive too deep into Pokemon, which I'm sure if you're listening to the show, you know what a Pokemon is. Can you introduce yourself? Can you tell the audience who you are, maybe how we know each other, and kind of maybe the initiatives you're involved in? I know it's a big ask, and how you came to know Pokemon, that kind of stuff.
Oh my goodness, Samson. You know, this is kind of funny because I have to reintroduce myself again to the Grow Up Level Up crowd. But my name's Lucas. I am in my early 30s. But I will blend, and for those who watched the original interview that I had with you back in 2023, was it? Or 24, whatever. But I myself am also a neurodivergent gamer. So I do a lot of advocacy work with autism acceptance, all that kind of jazz. But I will be very blunt. And for the listeners out there, Pokemon is very, very, very strong among the neurodivergent crowd. That is very popular among that crowd.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of overlap, but I've grown up with the game since goodness me knows how long. I mean, on my Slave of Violet right now, I have like a Groudon I have since I was like 10. I'm 30 in my early 30s for dang sick. I still carried it right through, up from like Ruby and Sapphire up to like Scarlet and Violet, and who knows if I'll be able to bring it into ZA or something, because if it is compatible, goodness gracious.
That will be so awesome. So yeah, Lucas, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
And of course, jumping ahead a little bit, our topic of the show is of course how to enjoy Pokemon in 2025 as 30-year-olds. If you didn't catch on by now, me and Lucas are old. We're boomers. We're unk status, as the kids say.
Yeah.
So we're and for a lot of people, like video games and Pokemon are seen as kid stuff. But we're here to make the persuasive argument that there's a little something for it for everybody.
There is.
I mean, it doesn't become, what is it? I think the most profitable IP in the history of mankind.
I know.
It didn't have a little something for everybody.
Well, and again, and it's not just the video games. You got the trading cards. You got Pokemon Go.
100%.
You got the TCG Pocket. That going, and you got. It's not just the games themselves. You're talking about the media empire. That's how big of the franchise it is. You're not just, like I said, you're not talking about the games in general. I mean, for bloody sake, we're getting a Pokemon Champions game sometime this year. And I mean, if you can literally play it on your bloody smartphone, everyone's going to jump back in.
Oh, there's already a Pokemon sleeping game. like they're trying to get everywhere.
Oh yeah. And you know what? Well, Kudos to them.
Before we jump into how we're going to play with Pokemon going forward, real quickly, I know this story can get really long, but Lucas, I want you to share about your first few memories with Pokemon, and then I'll share mine.
Oh, boy. I'm trying to remember all the way back because I actually had a copy of Blue way back, but I didn't really get into Pokemon until, like, say, Ruby, I would say. Like, that was... Well, I would say about 2002, 2003, because at the time, this is actually a good reflection point because they think, Pokemon's, for kids, all this kind of stuff. Back in 2003, most people at that time were sort of falling out. I remember that around the 13-year-olds were like, nah, this is kid stuff. We're moving on. I got into that around that time. And maybe it was just the timing wise, but maybe I just have a soft spot for Hoenn. maybe that's why when they announced Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, that's why I was shedding tears like crazy.
Yeah, that's where you pop.
Because, you know, it's nostalgia. It's nostalgia. When that happened, it was just nostalgia.
I know a lot of people say like Pokemon's appeal is nostalgia, but and I agree. Like a lot of Pokemon appeal for me is nostalgia, but I also feel like the company, the game designers, the artists are so good at reiterating on new Pokemon and reinventing the wheel. So part of it's nostalgia, but part of it's also like they keep it fresh and they keep it interesting.
Well,
right?
I mean, don't forget those regional forms they've introduced in Sun and Moon. I mean,
that's
kind of
you
know, you don't reinvent the wheel, you refine it. And honestly,
that's
I mean, to be honest, you're not re-scrapping ideas. You're just fixing. You just decided to add what could be better. You know, like for example. My favorite Alolan form, I never liked Cantonian Golem. Don't get me wrong. I'm not too big on the Cantonian Golem. Alolan Golem, chef's kiss. I mean, come on. I mean, it's like a freaking taser. It's like a freaking taser on a freaking rock.
Alolan
Golem.
No. Alolan Dugtrio is my favorite with the hair.
Oh yeah, the long hair. Yeah, surfs up. I gotta tell you, I loved what they did with the Sun and Moon, especially all the features they had in there. I mean, we did lose quite a bit when they made the jump to the Switch, but again, don't blame the devs on that one. You know, I've talked to plenty of people, and they're saying, you know, bring back National Dex. I'm rolling my eyes to this day. When I hear that, I still have it muted on X because it just got to, you know, after a while, when you hear people complaining about that, it just gets monotonous. Scarlet and Sword and Shield was good. I mean, when you're making a jump.
Looking back, people like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a decent game. You know, I mean, was it the best game? No. But they definitely fixed what was broken in Scarlet and Violet. I mean, now running on Switch 2, it runs like it was built for Switch 2 right out of the box. I mean, that is exactly why I think when you get Legends EA this October on Switch 2, it's going to be like a dream.
I'm so excited.
Same.
I mean, for me, my first Pokemon memories, I think it was might have been around the same time, like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I had a family friend named Tim. Shout out Tim. And he was actually mute or deaf, so he wasn't able to hear. But he was like an older brother type of figure. Yeah. But it was hard to communicate with him. But he was actually the first person that showed me Pokemon, and I learned to read through playing his copy of Pokemon Blue when I visited. And that's how we bond and communicate. And now he's like a I think he has multiple like level 40, level 50 Pokemon Go accounts. Like he's hardcore in that sense.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. You know, Pokemon Go got a lot of people back into the franchise after they fell out after so many years. I remember people were literally, heck, even at my day job where I work, it's apparently some smart aleck decided to put up a register one of the locations at a Pokestop.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Hey, that's a great segue into our topic of the show, which is how are people enjoying Pokemon 2025? We throughout just our intro, we went through the card game, the video game, Pokemon Go, Pokemon Sleep, Champions. Like we named so many different versions of Pokemon that it's not just a video game that you play on your Switch or your Game Boy. No. It is so many different forms of mediums. So that's kind of what we want to explore. Yeah, it's a clothing brand as well.
And you know what? I got this from the Pokemon Center when this came on sale. And to be honest, I know it's still summer when we're recording this, but when it comes to fall, I mean, I'm going to be repping this baby when Legends EA drops. Because, I mean, freaking Megas are back,
Mega
baby.
Charizard. Well, I was going to say, if you're listening on audio, make sure you come over to YouTube so you can check out Lucas's sick Mega Charizard hoodie. It's got the X and Y Charizard on the front.
X and Y.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of our topic of this show is how are you enjoying Pokemon in 2025? Because Pokemon is like saying I enjoy football or I enjoy hockey. There's so many different ways to enjoy this thing. So please let us know in the comments below, whether on YouTube or Spotify or tweet at us, blue sky at us, BS at us, as they say, how you're enjoying Pokemon. I would love to know. But Lucas and I today are going to share some of the ways that we're enjoying. Lucas, you are the guest on today's episode. Would you like to start with how you're enjoying Pokemon in 2025?
Well, to be honest, I'll be very blunt. You know, it's more or less the community has really exploded. Like not just I'm talking about the in person, but I'm also talking the PokeTubers too. I've got to meet I've talked to some amazing PokeTubers out there, and these guys are phenomenal, nicest people I've ever met. I know there's some. I'm not going to go into the toxic ones, but we do know there's those bad apples.
Oh,
and I'm
there's
not
bad apples in every big space,
every
right?
fandom.
Not
Absolutely.
everything is perfect.
Not everything is perfect, but I will be very clear. These guys are just awesome. I've talked to a few of them. We know each other. We follow each other. We follow each other on socials. We chat sometime on Discord. These guys are the super class, because they're there for the fandom. It's not just the games. And don't forget, some of these YouTube content creators on, let's say, on these platforms, they've actually gone ahead and said, okay, what if XYZ was a region? Or let's say, what if I made my own Pokemon game? It's not just about the official fandom, official product. It's about people kind of taking their own creative liberties. And the game, like I've heard Game Freak even takes liberties from these guys. Like, that's why we got those regional forums, apparently. They actually
they took inspiration.
Yeah, they kind of took inspiration.
Lately
I've been hearing they've been taking a lot of interest from the fans. So
I remember hearing a rumor that they were gonna have like a new EV evolution, but then it ended up being too close to a fan one, so they had to scrap it last second or something crazy.
but you know what? Creative block happens. And you know what? Another thing though too, I remember, and I'm hoping this happens in ZA. I really do believe, and this is just me having a hunch. I'm not listening to any rumors, any bias, or anything like that. I might, you know what? Come back to me in a couple of months, and if this is true. But I do believe that
review episode,
I do believe Mega Flygon actually will be in ZA because remember, I do believe. Well, again, I don't know the ins or outs. Like I have no say whatsoever. But because how many people are asking for it, they have to cave. I mean, you guys are. For those in the chat, you all remember the whole, we want Mega Flygon, but they couldn't get it done because of artist block. You remember Ken Sugimori wanted to do something?
Oh,
but
I actually didn't know about this.
They actually had it in concept, but it just could not be done because of artist block, which sucks.
Interesting.
So I do think they'll probably get it done this time because there's the opportunity, and I did hear we might get new Megas. So
it sounds like you enjoy the video game side of more Pokemon.
Oh, absolutely.
As well as the community side. Like, I didn't even consider that at first, but you are involved in the games / all the different creators that work within the Pokemon space. Can you share more about that?
Oh, I'm mainly because I'm a patron on a few of those guys. That few of those guys actually know who I am. I've actually talked with a few of them, and actually, if funny enough, actually, that's if. On the Discord, if you guys are on the Discord, you'll notice I have my user profile is actually I actually got it commissioned by one of the artists who actually worked with a YouTuber for a friend of mine. So I was able to because the other person I had before kind of vanished. So I had to find nothing against her whatsoever. Things happened. She just vanished offline. So it's like got to find someone new, and turns out this guy was the real deal, and the rest they say is history. So shout out to Oscar Belmonte.
You're seeing your profile picture. Yeah.
Shout out to Oscar Belmonte. aka R Greywind. You did a great job, buddy. I'll definitely give you credit. So tell them if you need a creative art commission or anything like that. Give him my love because he did a great job with my design. So I'll give him credit.
Ooh, awesome. So with the video games, you're playing mostly on Switch, or do you also play Pokemon Go or anything else?
Yeah, I do play Go. I do play Go. Well, the reason is I'm so tied up with work and stuff, but because but the good news though is like I said, apparently there's a Pokestop at where my work is. So if if it gets all there's nothing much, I'll just go on the game and just do the Pokestop, just grind.
Yeah, I mean it is a nice way to pass time, especially when you go to so many different places. You're like, oh, I wonder what's going on here for Pokemon Go.
Totally. And well, not only that, I'm gonna be very blunt. You remember when we had the Pokemon Bank fiasco back in 2013, 2014?
Vaguely. Yeah. If you could re-explain it, what was it?
Oh, apparently their server crashed around Christmas when they tried to drop.
Oh no, not Christmas.
Yeah, it took them a couple months just to get it up, and I remember everyone's like,
I do remember this. Yeah,
But anyways, one thing I do like what they're doing now is they're taking the because now you can literally get all your Pokemon from your phone. You notice that?
Oh,
With home.
like you can manage it from your phone.
So literally, like if you're, let's say, for example, I've got the Switch 2, by the way. So if anyone's,
Shout out,
Shout
out Switch 2.
But this console is definitely a huge improvement over Switch 1. I'm going to.
Oh, I love it. I play mine almost every day.
Oh, yeah. Same. It's fantastic. And Pokemon Scarlet and Violet feel like a totally different game with this on it.
If I could pause tangent on that, remember how like you played majority of the game and it was like 2 frames a second as a PowerPoint, and then you got the Switch 2. And just switch to with the upgrade for Scarlet and Violet, and now it's like smooth like butter. That also tripped me out. It was giving me a headache that it was 2 frames a second. Now it's giving me a headache because it's 60, and my brain's like, no, this is wrong. It can't.
But
be
you
like
know
this.
what? Don't get me wrong. I think it's a great buy right now because we.
Yeah. I'm thankful. Me too. It's a me thing. A me thing.
And I mean, to be honest, just wait for Legends EA when that game drops. Just imagine how that thing's going to run on Switch 2 hardware. That thing's going to be scary good fast.
I'm really excited for that. So, speaking about the future, so like, is Pokemon pretty much your main video game? Like, do you play any other video games?
Oh yeah. Again, I don't play Pokemon specifically. I have other games, like I play sports games. I mean, Samson knows me IRL.
EA Sports.
It's in the game. Yeah, I mean, that shouldn't come as a surprise. I mean, my hat should be a dead giveaway. But I also play like the occasional Mario game. In fact, before coming on to this thing, I was actually fired up my copy of Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Oh, nice! I still have to play that one.
Yeah, it's actually. I will say this. I mean, but it's not the only game. I mean, will I play it to Kingdom Come? Of course. I mean, I've blown out all the hours on my Pokemon games. I think I've maxed out the counter on some of the games. I went 999 hours, 99 minutes. Maxed it out.
Yeah.
Maxed it out. So I've done
just
it before.
grinded.
Oh yeah. Well, the fact is now the games are so advanced. Like you can literally trade online. You could battle other online. I mean, it's not like the Game Boy Advance days. Like when they went global, like the online since DS, the game's totally changed. Like literally right now, I could fire up my Switch 2, pop online, and go right into a Terra Raid battle. Like literally right now, if I wanted to.
You can lobby up with people and open world explore so easily.
I mean,
like,
I've done
back then. It's not a thing.
I do think this is going to be the way forward with the open world kind of aspect. I do think this is the way forward.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I mean, to be honest, they were kind of testing that with Sword and Shield. Do you remember that? They kind of tested that with the little
area,
the wild area,
the open area. Yeah,
I do think they were testing that. I do think Sword and Shield was kind of the test run of the because it was such a massive jump up. Scarlet and Violet was probably their main bread and butter, what they were working towards. So who knows what's next? Who knows what's going to be like? Let's say Generation 10. I mean, goodness gracious.
Oh my gosh. We could spend a whole episode gushing about that.
I mean, to be honest, maybe I'm biased. Samson would know this because I'm biased. I'd really love to see a region based on the Great White North Canada. I think there's
me too. Me too.
I mean, to be honest, it can be doable. I mean, you look at the whole country, you look at the West, which is all mountainous terrain where me and Samson are actually from. But when you get further and further west, you go into the great the prairies, then you get the Canadian Shield, then you get Quebec,
which
you can
throw
is
a desert in there.
Yeah, you can throw like
culture.
I mean, you could totally turn the prairie area into like a little desert. I mean, it's dry enough. You could totally get away with it.
Sorry, Jordan.
Hey, no worries, Jordan. But I mean, but then again, you could sort of tie in Galar and Kalos together because of the French.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, well,
more forests where we are. Yeah.
No, I mean,
I think. Do you think it'll happen in our lifetime? I think it will.
Oh, absolutely.
There was a recent interview where who's the guy that runs Pokemon? I almost said Sakurai.
Sakurai Smash Brothers.
Ishihara
or Masuda?
Masuda. He was saying, like, if we play our cards right, we can make Pokemon for another 100 years. And before that, I never even thought of that. I'm like, yeah, you guys can we can make Pokemon for another 100 years. So within those 100 years, hopefully we get a Canadian region.
Well, I mean, to be honest, there's a lot of room to grow. I mean, you got a lot of lore.
Yeah, it's not perfect.
But you could totally make it doable. I mean, you can easily make it doable. And I do think
100%.
This is just my 2 cents, but when I was playing Scarlet and Violet, one of the towns, Laventia, kind of reminded me of Vancouver. I don't know why.
Yeah, the
I don't know
bridge,
why with the
futuristic,
futuristic vibe.
yeah.
It just
On the water.
I mean, to be honest, I was like, and then one of my colleagues actually did a remix of because you probably remember Hoops and Hip Hop. He did and this is a friend of mine. Shout outs to Hoops and Hip Hop. He did a video series called Pokemon Cardinal, which was actually based on Canada.
Oh,
and
I think so. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
And then, anyways, so what he did was actually based Vancouver on a city named Navercove. And then one of my buddies, who's also a video game remixer, he kind of took that song and kind of turned into Laventia style, like how it sort of sounds like.
Well, a remix of a remix. Almost.
Well, it's kind of a remix. Well, it's an original song, but you just remix it in that style. And I was like, okay, we gotta have that. This has gotta happen.
Make a title screen next.
Oh, to be honest, I'm telling you, man, when I listen to this track, I'll send off screen. I'll send this to you because I was blown away.
Post it in the link below. Yeah.
Oh, I'll send. And by the way, it's a shout. My friend who did this remix, his name is Zame. So the Zame, you get a shout out, buddy. You do some great work, my friend. And he even did a custom champion track for me. So shout out to you, buddy.
Speaking of Zane, I'm segueing this. Legend ZA, Legend ZA, Legend Zaz, I like to call it. What is your hype level for that game, and what are you hyped about?
To be honest, I'm just excited to see what megas we're gonna get, because I remember since the days of after Oraz, we were like, okay, are they still gonna keep megas? Remember, everyone was hyping up.
True.
With Sun and Moon, we all thought megas were gonna continue, and then they were like, nope.
No, new gimmick. Moves or whatever. It wasn't as cool.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, and then they sort of went to Dynamax, Gigantamax, and Sword and Shield.
Oh yeah, I like that though.
I like that too. But I mean, it was a nice change of pace. I mean, still sucked that we didn't get megas, but and then we got terrestrialization this generation, which I definitely think was a nice touch. Sorry to all those people who like Hidden Power, but I like terrestrialization better.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
I thought it was it's a better gimmick anyways. Hidden Power was just like a random, gamble, because you have to make sure the right breeding and this stuff. This way you can just straight up guarantee it. So yeah, again, nothing against Hidden Power, but it just doesn't make sense to me, because you have to just go through all the breeding process. It was just too monotonous.
Right. Yeah.
So
hype levels for ZA.
I'm cautious, but I'm very optimistic, because
cautious but optimistic. Okay.
I mean, I got to keep a level head, because I kind of set my bars a little too high in the past. I don't want to let my levels down, but I have heard this is again. These so-called insider leaks have been saying we're getting the starters. So Chikorita, Cyndaquil, no, not Cyndaquil. That was Arceus, Tepig, and Totodile. Yeah, sorry. Because you see what I'm saying? I'm so used to like the Legends Arceus starters.
Yeah.
I think I've heard rumors they're getting so Meganium, Emboar, and Feraligatr megas.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, why else would they pick them as?
Honestly,
starters,
if they get a mega Feraligatr, okay, that's my mascot. Good night, everybody.
Oh no, yeah, we're done. Elgator. Oh my goodness, the Elgator.
Yeah. Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Sorry,
we're done.
Sorry,
Pokemon peaked for Lucas. Yeah.
Sorry, Duskmane. I love you, buddy, but
all right.
My name.
Well, I hope the design is good.
Yeah, I would love it to be, and this is just my 2 cents. To be the counter to Mega Charizard X. Water
that would
Dragon.
Dragon type. It should be Y. Y is the fire type, right? For Charizard.
Water. It would be the water. It would be Water Dragon, but its ability would probably either be.
I see what you mean. I see where you're getting at. Because if Dragon's super effective against Dragon.
Yeah, well, but the fact is, it's already confirmed. All the megas are back, and even the ones from Auras are back. So, I just love to see. I love to see them sprinkle in a few more megas. I think we might get some information about new megas possibly coming in, but I would be surprised if they. I would be very surprised if they don't hint at any, because we've all been wanting new megas for years. Especially it's been like it's been over a decade since we last had any new megas. So, I mean, to be blunt,
dude, we're so old. Like. It's been more than 10 years since X and Y came out.
Well, I'm talking. I'm talking Auras. That's when they introduced a bunch of new ones. Like, remember we got.
Did Mega Latias and all that come from Auras?
Actually, it was ZA. It was Legend. It was X and Y, but it wasn't technically available until ORS.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
They
that is
programmed it
interesting.
in, but it wasn't legally attainable. That's why you saw some people kind of game sharking or action replaying
Yeah,
the games, and that's how.
data mine, yeah,
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
they didn't get they were technically in the games. You just couldn't play them. You had to go to
Mhm.
ORS to do that, which is a little bit counter, but I guess they planned it in. I guess they planned it in advance, and I guess they realized, you know what, we're already doing ORS. Let's just move it over to move it over there.
Very interesting. Well, speaking of megas, this is how I'm going to segue it into how I'm enjoying Pokemon in 2025. The next Pokemon set is going to be Megas again, so Mega Pokemon, and we're going to get that generation to tie it into Legends EA. I don't think I'm gonna play most of the video games this year, except for Legends. I'm gonna be enjoying Pokemon as a TCG player. I have recently picked that up this year.
Nice.
So Pokemon TCG, I learned how to properly play in March after going to the Vancouver regionals,
Congratulations.
and then in April I started going. Thank you to my local game store's weekly events where I'm just meeting people and building decks and fighting, and I think I have a goal for next year, and it's to beat a world champion. No, the people that become world champion are like, it's a full-time job, and I'm like,
It is.
I have
It
a
is.
full-time job.
I mean, yeah, you would have to go. Like, I know next year's World's in San Francisco, so
Yeah.
this year's
Yeah,
I know is in
maybe.
Anaheim. So
Yeah. So and to even qualify for worlds, I'll back it up a bit. So every trainer, you register to play in these weekly events, you get a number, and the reason why they have that number is every time you play or you win, you earn points, and to be able to get to the worlds, you have to be the top like 130 people in your region. We're in North America, so top 130 of all players in North America, and to earn points, you have to earn like 800 points.
that's a
And
lot.
then, well, and the weekly or the league cups that happen in your city, the max you can get for winning one of those, I think, is like 30 or 50.
Yeah, sounds
And
about
then
right.
if you win a regional, that's 200. But a regional is like people fly out to those,
Yeah,
because they happen in one spot. So to get 800 plus, you have to go to multiple regionals, play in multiple cups. You have to win. Didn't even mention that. You have to win these things, like place top 4 or whatever to even end positive. So it's a big ask. So that's not my goal.
yeah.
My goal is to just get 200 competitive points, CPs, because then you get the Ace Trainer card for the year. And that's an exclusive card that Pokemon will send you, just because you earned enough competitive points. Have you seen one of these before, Lucas?
I think well, again, I'm not too much into TCG myself, but I'm not surprised they would send trainers who would meet that qualification for sure, because you grinded your butt off to make that happen. So
Yeah.
So
Here's a photo of one. And they have like a stamp. It says like Pokemon card game championship and then the year, and it's different every year.
of course,
So it's something to like earn and play for. So my goal is to get the 2026 one. I think
Not-
it would be 2026.
yeah. Well, I mean, Worlds is coming up, I know, in about a month's time. So yeah, I don't think they've unveiled it yet, but we'll see what happens.
No, I guess not. Eh? Yeah, I
Yeah,
see
well-
2024, no 2025.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens. I mean, well, it's kind of funny that you say 26, because I'm not saying too much just at this moment, but kind of got something under my hat right now that I've kind of got in the works, but I'm not going to say too much just yet. But it's early days. But Samson,
I
you
think I
probably
know
know.
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, and again, early days, early days. But if it does come to pass, we'll see what happens. But again, it's still in the early stages of development, so that's all I'll say.
Yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, that's my goal. Like, I really enjoyed a TCG. I think it's, well, for a long time. I don't know if you know this about me, Lucas, but I'm a big card game player, card game
Surprised.
enjoyer. Every phase of my life since I graduated, I had a card game that I played. So first it was like Magic, and then I got into Hearthstone. And then I
Hearthstone.
kind of fell off card
Heard
games
that
for like
one
a
a
couple of
million
years, I
times
think, during
over.
the pandemic, because part of it was playing in person, right? Like during pandemic, there was nobody to play in person with. So I was missing that. There were ways around it, right? Like you could still play Hearthstone.
Oh, of
You could
course.
still play games online. Like people invented webcam playing, which was kind of cool. But then I don't know, it just nothing really hit. So I kind of forgot about it. And then
Yeah.
I want to say like last summer, going into the fall, going into this year. Oh no, I know what restarted it. Marvel Snap came out on phones, I think 2-ish years ago. And I'm like,
Right.
oh, I really like card games. Like, and part of Marvel Snap is like very short, addicting. There's
Yeah,
that.
it's like a little. It's like I remember when that thing popped off. I remember even at work, everyone was talking about Marvel, and everyone was talking about Marvel Snap and Marvel Rivals and all that stuff. I was like, I mean, I'm a big into that IP too, but I remember everyone was talking about it again. I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, and play on your phone. And I like the developer, Ben Brode. And then Marvel Snap, I played that game for like 2 years straight. I played every month, got the season pass. Near the end, I started to get tired of it because it was kind of a time and money sink. Plus, the monetization things were not that great. And I say money sink like this as if Pokemon is also not a money sink.
Has to be your network.
But basically, from that, I realized I want to play card games again. I tried something like Flesh and Blood and Lorcana. Those didn't really hit. And then eventually I landed on Pokemon. I ended up finding my love for Pokemon is because it was not just a game you played. It was something you collected. And then it was something that that other people can enjoy. It was cute. It was cool and scary. Like people of all ages, right? And that's the beauty of the IP.
And
around this time, sorry, go ahead.
And also, I was going back to, we're talking about Pokemon, Snap. Like, apparently, when Pokemon actually got wind of this, and they decided, we're just going to launch the TCG Pocket. And
you're leading right into what I was going to say. Pokemon Pocket came out, and that blew up the TCG hobby. People buying up product, buying up boxes. Everything is still more expensive than it was a year ago, which is insane. Because a year ago, I bought booster packs and booster boxes for like half the price, and now it's double. And I'm like, come on, man. I hope it goes back down one day, but that depends on the interest.
I think, to be honest, I have heard Pokemon's kind of aware of what's been going on, and I do think they're going to try to address it. I mean, again, you know what? When you have supply, when the supply does not meet the demand, you know, you have a really strong product. You're going to make more. You know, that's what happens. Like, I remember people are still buying up the heck with the Switch 2. That thing's demand is like through the roof. So, and even though it's expensive as all heck, I mean, people are like playing like, oh, it's $700 Canadian. People still buy it. So it's like,
yeah, the demand is there, and hopefully the supply is. And I don't know, Pokemon doesn't want to turn Pokemon to like some sort of hype beast brand where only the rich people can get it. They want this accessible for everybody. Which is absolutely great. But here's the silver lining for this. Because there's so many collectors and investors opening product all the time, building decks and playing the game is actually, Pokemon TCG is the cheapest card game out there because everybody opens cards so much. Like the supply, we're talking about supply and demand. The supply is actually very easy to get for those that want to play the game. And
absolutely.
For me, playing the game is the fun part. Meeting people, going to weeklies, learning new things, learning new strategies, getting better. Like I feel like it's a really cool game to get better at because the people that are at the top are really, really good.
And also don't forget too, it's for all ages. That's the most important thing because
100%. Yeah. I didn't even touch on that.
And to be honest, I'll be very blunt. Now that we're in our, like me and Samson are both in our 30s, the fact is now that, you know, I've seen a lot of parents who grew up with this franchise are now doing it with their kids. So if they say there's one game that transcends generations, it's this.
100%. Yeah, I didn't even touch on that. Like, you get kids to these things, mostly like mostly men like us in the adult range, but like women as well, which is, I would say, pretty rare for a sweaty trading card game that you go to a weekly for. You get it's a very diverse group, and everyone's so nice. Like,
yeah, I've noticed that too with the community too, is that they're very engaging, they're very welcoming. There's the obvious joke too, because there's so many inside jokes with Pokemon nowadays. Like you would know
learning
you're
the
a
lingo
fan.
is tricky.
You get the lingo, and there's so many memes making the rounds online these days. Some of them, when you get the reference, it's like, oh, I see what you did there. That's the beauty of the franchise now. Even Pokemon, like their social media game is bar none fantastic. Like they get all the inside jokes, the references. These guys are doing a phenomenal job. So, and here's the kicker, Samson. I would not be surprised if most of the people behind the games grew up with them originally. They're at that point now where they're probably
and now they're working on
that's what, because nowadays they get the franchise because they grew up with it. They're probably like in Japan, of course. I mean, konnichiwa to all our great friends in the Brand of the Rising Sun. But I mean, most of them would probably have grown up with it. They probably know how this stuff works, the mechanics, blah, blah, blah. And turns out now they're working on the games themselves, a Game Freak. So,
yeah, great point. Well, as we close out our episode, I want to ask you for your Sunset Select for one Pokemon thing that people should check out. For me, my Sunset Select for the audience is definitely the Pokemon TCG. Product is expensive right now, but nothing's stopping you from going to a weekly store and saying, hey, what's up, what's going on, can I have a deck to play, how do I play, I would love to try this card game. It's a cool way to meet new people. It's super chill, the community is so nice, so definitely go to your local game store, see if they're running a Pokemon night, and just go. And I know it's hard to put yourself out there, but I would say for the Pokemon TCG community, it's one of the best ones. Nobody is like, well, I can't say everybody out there, but 99% of people super welcoming, super nice, and they just want to have more people play the game with them. So go check out your local game store for their Pokemon night. Lucas, what's your Sunset Select for a Pokemon game or thing for people to check out?
Honestly, I'm just going to go straight to the chase. It's going to be the main titles right now, Scarlet and Violet, plus expansion, plus the expansion pass, because right now, of course, since we have the Switch 2, and a lot of people were like, oh, I don't like running this game on Switch 1, because the game was like, frame rates were pretty lackluster. Good time to get back in if you have a Switch 2. Switch, it's now probably the best time to get in before ZA drops, because
you're totally right.
Because nowadays, I mean, I've been playing the games on Switch 2, it just feels like night and day. Like, it's a totally different game. Like, I mean, of course, for those, most people have already moved past the main play of the game, because either they probably have already completed the game, gone for the expansion pass, the DLC. This game, if you have not played it in a while, you should definitely get the DLC too. It pads out the game big time. And to be honest, one little tidbit, if you really want to know this on the DLC, if you, and I know Samson is a big fan of Gen 5 with Unova.
Oh, yeah, I am.
If you, by any chance, play the second part, the Indigo Disc, the second pack, tons and tons and tons of Unova references, because the second part of the DLC does not take place in Paldea. It's in Unova.
Oh, I did not know that. I might have to get back in there.
Yeah, well, and I will mention to you, Samson, if you remember the old battle tunes, like the Wild Battle, Trainer Battle.
I just remember the red health theme.
Nah, they don't have that one, but
that's my favorite one.
They did remix it.
Okay, yeah. I'm excited. I got to go check that out then. Thank you for your Sunset Select, Lucas. Lucas, where can people find you if they want to get to know you, interact with you, collaborate with you? How can people get in touch with you?
I'm on social media. You can follow me on X. I'm on X and Instagram mainly at LucasGates92. You can also check out the company I own, which Samson is very much aware of, NeuroValiant, which is actually also on social media, and we have a website, neurovaliant.ca. We actually do run 2 clubs right now, which is a gaming club, which a lot of Pokemon fans do come to. That is actually something we're hopefully working on soon, but I'm not going to say too much in detail. But we offer a chess club there as well. If that's something up your fancy, that's another option. Both take place in Richmond, British Columbia. And we're also active there at NeuroValiant on X and Instagram and Facebook, actually. I'm not on Blue Sky, though. I do have an account, but I don't use it.
Fair. There's too many social medias.
I know, right?
Like people just have to commit to one, or you individually just have to commit to one. It's like find me on Blue Sky, find me on Instagram. One of those, okay? I can't check messages on X as well, or I don't know.
I just say. I just check X and Instagram mainly because those are ones I'm really active on. I do have a Facebook page, but it's
right. Like I've never checked that.
But yeah, it's good to be back. You know, it was a great talking with you,
Thanks.
Samson. You know, and I know you as a personal friend as well. We met, and I'll let all of you know. Me and Samson met years ago through esports elsewhere for a team that sadly no longer exists. Which but I will say they do have another team now that occupies a slot. So
cheer for the Vancouver Surge. Speaking of esports, next week's episode, I'm going to be talking about my adventures at MSI in Vancouver. That's the mid-season invitational for the League of Legends World Circuit. So I'm going there on Saturday, Lucas. I don't know if you knew. So next week's episode, I'm going to be talking about my experience there. Make sure you stay subscribed for that. Subscribe to all of us at Grow Up Level Up on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, podcasts, of course, Spotify. Follow us to get updates on every episode. My name is Samson, aka Samson XP on all the socials. And hey, thanks for joining us today in our fun Pokemon discussion. I hope you found a new game or thing to try. And let us know in the comments what your favorite Pokemon thing out there is, whether it's Go or a trading card game or the TV show. We didn't even talk about that. Or
we totally missed that
Pokemon,
because
the video
because
game,
it's not the same anime that it was when we.
That's so true. It's a whole different thing now. So let us know how you're enjoying Pokemon in 2025. We would love to know. Other than that, talk to you next week for another episode of Grow Up, Level Up, Sunset Selects. Bye, everyone.